All right. Yeah, let's get started. And as always, in Pilates, you guys can modify the movements. I'm gonna put everyone on mute. Okay. So finding a nice comfortable position on your back. I'm gonna start by breathing. So when you don't really think about the breath, most people breathe in and out through their nose, which is common. But here in Pilates, we're going to bring a little more awareness to our breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. And even throughout this class, you'll find that as you start focusing on other muscles, certain movement patterns, that you will forget about your breathing. And that's okay. But once we have figured out sort of what the movement is, we want to bring our attention back to the breathing. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. The exhalation is through pursed lips. So you're going to feel your abdominals engage a little bit more as you actively expel the air out through your mouth. Go ahead and inhale through the nose, keeping your spine in neutral, small gap under the lower back, and then exhale to imprint. So we're drawing our abdominals down and taking the lower back all the way to the floor. Good. Inhale, return to neutral, exhale, imprint. Inhale, neutral, exhale, imprint. It's like a very, very minor movement of my pelvis rocking back and forth. It might not be even easy to see, but hopefully as you're doing imprint to neutral, you feel it in your pelvis and in your lower back. Maintain the imprint and lift the legs up to tabletop one at a time. So shins parallel, thighs vertical. We'll keep the knee bend at 90 degrees as you exhale, tap it out, inhale, return. Exhale, inhale. Exhale to lower, reinforcing that imprint. Inhale to lift. There's no need to turn and constantly look at the Zoom screen if you know what you're doing. And keep your head and neck aligned with the spine, staring up at the ceiling. Both legs will lower down. Don't feel obligated to take the legs or feet all the way to the floor. So you can go halfway down and then up. If you're going to take the toes all the way to the floor, just try to keep that imprint throughout. Let's do some obliques today. So bring your knees up. And then if your knees aren't already together, bring them together. We're going to take our arms out to the side to help anchor our shoulder blades. Exhale to one side, inhale back to center. For this breathing, you can inhale to lower, exhale to lift as well. So I'm intentionally not letting my knees just fall and relax to the floor, keeping tension in my obliques. Both shoulder blades are heavily anchored to the mats. I haven't dropped my heels, right? So we're still maintaining that 90-degree knee bend. One side of the pelvis or butt will come off the ground. And only one. And then again, both shoulder blades are going to be anchored to the mats throughout. Let's just do one more on each side. And I know your quads are probably feeling it, so we can drop our heels after this one. Good, heel drops. So our quads feel nice and relaxed. Place your feet down on the floor, hip distance apart. Go ahead and roll up. Inhale and exhale. Roll down. So we're rolling up on the exhale. We're inhaling when we get to the top. And we're exhaling to roll in. So as our breath seamlessly transfers between inhale and exhale, we try to coordinate our movement to that. Another way of saying that is, as I'm ready to exhale, I start to push my hips up. And you can tell when you're near the end of your exhale, so you can kind of time your movement. And then when you're fully lifted, you take a breath in. And then when you're ready to exhale, you start to lower down inch by inch, vertebra by vertebra. And again, since you're concentrating on your breath and thinking about your breath, if you're moving really, really slowly, you can almost just extend your exhale. So let's say I'm pushing up and I'm really taking my time. Usually there's a little bit of leeway in terms of how much more air you can expel. So when Pilates first designed his exercises, he really wanted the breathing to set the pace and the movements to follow the breath. So we're going to do our crunches. So we're on the ground, inhale. And then when we're ready to exhale, we lift the head, neck, and shoulders, reach the arms to the toes. Inhale. Actually, I did that a little too fast. Inhale here. So we exhale. I'm still lifting, And then when I'm done exhaling, I inhale and hold. And then exhale. We draw it out 2 to 3 seconds. And I take my time lowering for 2 to 3 seconds. So this is adding just a little extra thought process into how breathing and movement really go together in Pilates. Inhale. Exhale. So during one of the inhales, we're at rest. But during the second inhale, when we're holding at the top, you're breathing in with a contraction, and that is more challenging. It is always challenging to be inhaling while holding contraction. And then exhale, we lower. All right, we're going to hundreds, which means we're inhaling and exhaling for every 5 counts, and we're in constant contraction. So we're going to nod the chin, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Legs can be 90 straighter on the diagonal, but constant contraction here as we breathe in for 5, in, 2, and out for 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale, and exhale. 30, inhale, and exhale. 40, inhale. Exhale. 50, inhale. Exhale. 60, inhale. Exhale. 70. If you notice your shoulder blade getting a little low, lift it back up. Keep that chin tucked. Eye gaze on your knees. We're at 90 here. Last 10. And exhale. 100. All right. Hopefully your abdominals are a little fatigued from holding that isometric crunch position. And now we're on to our stomach. When you're going to start with an inhale. So inhale, we lift. And when we're ready to exhale, we lower. When you're ready to inhale, you lift slowly. The average breath is about 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out. Sometimes 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Pilates believe that we're in a constant state of shallow breathing. Because breathing is voluntary, we don't really think about it. So we just kind of breathe in and out pretty quickly. But again, the average breath, about 2 to 3 seconds per inhale and exhale. And the nice thing about timing your movement to that keep your head and neck aligned with the spine, is that it really forces you to slow down your movement because you're thinking about your breath. Take the hands down by the hips. Inhale and exhale. So here we're working on our posture muscles in the back, around our spine. Do 2 more. Good. Take your hands, push yourself up. Give yourself a little spine stretch, creating roundness. And then before we go into our butts, we're going to go into a plank. I'm going to start on our wrist. Feel free to do planks on your elbows. There's a little bit of limitations when you're on your elbows in terms of what leg movements you can do. I'm going to do a leg movement, but if you're on your elbows, feel free to be on your knees and keep your legs still. So wrist underneath shoulders, reach the heel to the back of the room and then the other. Okay, I'm going to drag my toe, one leg, just drag it along the floor. I'm going to lift it up off the floor, reach it back, and return it to the floor. I'm going to drag my toenails in. And notice, this is as far as I can get it. Still bracing the abs, squeezing the abs. I'm going to lift my leg off the floor, right? Take the toes off the floor. Reach actively with the toes to the back or with the heel. Eventually, you're going to have to flex your foot because we have our toes tucked under in our plank position. Drag, lift, reach. Really feel the quadriceps engaged, the strength as you straighten the leg. Drag. Probably not a lot of effort there in terms of your leg, but now your abdominals really kick in when you lift the leg off the ground. Reach, tuck the toes under. Let's do it one more time on each side. I know your arms are also really working, right? Your arm muscles and shoulder muscles are engaged. And hopefully you're still breathing. What I'm doing here is inhaling. Exhaling to lift and reach. All right, good. There's a lot to talk about with every exercise. Sometimes I end up talking about how to execute the movement versus what the breath is. So if I don't specifically talk about the breath, make sure you're still breathing. All right, in general, we exhale on the exertion, inhale either at the pauses or at the rest. All right, so this is our half roll back. Arms are forward, round the spine, roll halfway back. Lift up and you should feel your abdominals working. We're going to exhale. Keep the toes anchored. Inhale. Lift. Exhale. Inhale. So keep our shoulders down away from the ears. Get the arms soft. If you'd like to add a little more intensity, we're going to change up our arms. Today's variety, today's our variation. The variation of the day is I'm going to touch one hand to the opposite shoulder. So my back hand will go to my front shoulder. Then I'll reach forward. Front hand goes to the back shoulder. Reach forward. And we can have both hands cross our chest. And each time, I'm going to try to go back to the same position. I mean, it's not like we're measuring to the inch or the centimeter, but you should be able to roughly feel that you're going about the same distance back. Both arms. Exhale. Three more times, one more cycle through if you want to do both arms for all 3 times. you are more than welcome to do that. Last one here. And then we're going to roll all the way down. You can roll all the way down with your arms forward, or if you want a little more challenge, cross your arms and then roll down slowly. Exhale with control. Good. Now when we do full roll-ups, having the arms forward, just like the half rollbacks, will always make the exercise easier. So let's try a few with the arms straight forward. And then we'll try a few with the arms not forward. Inhale, arms reach to the ceiling, nod the chin. Exhale. This is the full roll up. Having a mobile spine helps. So the more your spine can curve, right? Because if you think about it, a really flat back will make this exercise a lot more challenging. Squeeze your quadriceps, have active legs. Inhale. I'm not going to do too many of these with the arms forward, just so we have enough energy to do it with the arms folded across our chest. All right, so feel free to continue doing roll-ups that way. Now, when we have the arms across the chest, it will be harder, right? So one thing we can do is to create an assistance. So using one leg lifted, and as you roll up, I'm going to kick this leg out, and it will assist with the roll-up. So nod the chin. I'm stuck here. Like, there's no way I can move, right? So I'm going to extend the leg. Oof. And then from there, give myself just kind of a little assistance through that stuck portion. I'm going to lift the other leg now. Nod. Inhale here. Exhale. Again, we're going to continue breathing and then trying to coordinate the movements with our breath. So I'm exhaling here and finish exhaling. So I'm going to start inhaling, rolling back. I'm going to exhale here. So lots of work. Exhale as I roll down. Now, do you want to try rolling up with your heels both on the ground? Adjust your pants and your arms crossed? We can try it. Nod the chin. Inhale. Exhale. Definitely very challenging, which is why I give the leg up and tabletop option. Inhale here, exhale. Let's do 3 more. So if you just did that one with the front leg bent, you can do the back leg bent. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll do 2 more. That way anyone that's using the single legs has symmetry, right? One front, one back, one right, one left. And if you're doing this roll up with both heels on the ground, then we'll do 2 more just like this. I'm actually going to lift my leg just to demonstrate this version one more time. Inhale, exhale. Looking for smoothness. It's okay. It's okay if there's a little bit of jerky movements, okay? Our end goal as we practice Pilates, right? This is a weekly practice or daily, possibly for you. So that's every time we do it, the exercise gets a little easier. Hopefully, and we move toward that smoothness. When your hair tickles you and you're afraid it's a spider or something. All right, so we got to adjust our pants. One more time. All right, single leg stretch. Talked about this method a couple weeks ago. The weeks all kind of blend into one another, but instead of pulling your knee in and extending one leg, you actually push the leg away. So this gives you a little bit more abdominal work. Your abs have to do more work to maintain the imprint. All right, push is your knee as far away as you like. I mean, sorry, not as far away. Your knee doesn't want to go anywhere, but you can push as hard as you like. The more you push on the knee, the more the knee has to push back, because that's what isometric is. Equal pressure. All right, so if I barely push on my knee, just then my knee doesn't have to do any work, and my abs don't have to do any work. So this is great because you get to determine how much work you want to feel. And neck and shoulders can come up. You keep the foot pointed or flexed. I try to encourage active feet. So we're still breathing and coordinating your movement with the breath. Exhale. Inhale to transition. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands behind the head. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Inhale midline. Exhale. Twist. Inhale. Exhale. If you know what a metronome is, it's something that dictates tempo. If we had a metronome to our breathing, our goal is to have the same tempo of breath throughout this whole practice, especially, in particular, throughout the whole ab series. So we're not rushing through exercises that we find more challenging or harder, and we want to just get through it, but that we really try to maintain the same metronome breathing tempo throughout. And therefore we're matching our movement to the breath, which then creates challenge. Okay, so from here, let's set up the metronome here again. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, center, exhale, inhale, exhale. Switch to double leg stretch. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, extend. Inhale, exhale. Hopefully I kept a similar tempo. Head and shoulders can go down. So notice I said try. It's okay if we're not always going to succeed in everything, but it's about the effort of trying. And if we are going to err on any side, we're going to try to err on slowing it down instead of speeding it up. Inhale, exhale. Last one, go to scissor. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Hopefully I'm still maintaining the same tempo. Inhale, exhale. Trying to get the legs as straight as possible. Inhale as the legs transition. Exhale to hold the stretch. Trying to reach as high on my leg as I can towards the calves. Last two, last one. Okay. Whew. I actually think that's the slowest ab series I've ever done. And admittedly, I'll say it's because it's really hard and I usually speed up my breathing. But today I just decided to make a huge effort on thinking about the breath. More so than usual, that is. Whew. Okay, so we're here. Inhale, exhale. Hopefully we're mostly trying to contain that tempo. This time we'll lift the arms off the mat, right? Reach the arms, bend the elbows, and lower. When you reach the arms to the toes, if you want to lift your chest a little higher, you may. Inhale, exhale, reach. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. Maybe lift your chest up another ½ inch. Inhale, elbows bend again. Exhale to lower. And then that's one, right? Inhale, the lift, exhale, reach. Inhale, back to a bent elbow, exhale, lower. Other things to think about besides the breathing and maintaining that same tempo. When you're ready to inhale, you lift, is thinking about keeping your neck nice and long. Right? Lengthening, especially through the back of the neck. We're going to keep the tops of the feet on the ground. Focus is on the spinal muscles. And maybe a little bit of the shoulder blades. So maybe you'll squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit more as you straighten those arms. Or maybe you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades a little more as you bend your elbows again. When I bend my elbows again, I might lift my elbows and squeeze my shoulder blades together just a little bit more. Let's do 2 more here. Eye gaze is pretty much on the floor. I'm not looking around the room. It's all about the head, neck, spine alignment here. And let's take a spine break. Okay. I haven't done sideline leg lifts in a while. I've been doing a lot of the kneeling version. Let's bring it back down to the sideline basics here. So you can lie on any side you like, but probably you want to face me and mirror me so our head's on the same side. Use the mat's edge for alignment. Sometimes I pick the right clothing choice, and I don't know if today helps, but you want to see that my hip is not hiked. So if you can see, my legs look like they're the same length, and then here it looks like my top leg is shorter. So usually it doesn't mean that my top leg is shorter, it means my hip is hiked. So we're gonna try to keep your feet equal length, and we're gonna try to push that hip down, either reach out with the heel or with the toes. I'm gonna do everything with my foot flex today because for some reason, every time I point, my foot is cramping, which means I probably need to drink more water, especially now that the weather is warmer. All right, let's talk about positions here. My head is on my arm, my bicep, to keep my head aligned with the spine, and then I have a few fingers for a kickstand. My leg is always straight and it never stops reaching. So my heel is constantly reaching to that far wall like it wants to touch the wall. And if I don't keep thinking about that, I basically kind of just relax. My leg is kind of limp and my hip probably hikes. All right, so now I'm going to draw a circle with my heels. But again, if your toes are pointed, you can draw with your big toe. Really small circle, about hip height. Inhale for 1 small circle. Exhale for the next. Again, it should be 2 or 3 seconds for each circle. And the circle is what? The size of a lime maybe? Or smaller maybe? Reverse direction. I'm trying to count to 6. Hopefully that was 6. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, I actually have this clock here that, the seconds are counting up. One of those digital clocks that just show all the seconds. And I can sort of see that at least my breaths are 2 to 3 seconds. Not always 2, not always 3. So that's good. And hopefully yours is as well. So let's, hold the top leg up. I gave you all a break accidentally. So we're gonna hold the top leg up and do what we call heel clicks, but it's not just a heel click. The whole foot is coming together because they're parallel. So neutral rotation means toes and kneecaps are all facing forward. So as I bring the bottom leg up, which is nice and straight, also engaged, I'm squeezing my legs together, that it's not just my heels that touch, right? And I will lift both legs together. Lower and lift, everything together. Both heels, or all 10 toes, are going to reach to the far wall. Quadriceps are engaged. With leg lifts, you can either exhale on the lift or inhale on the lift. We're just going to keep alternating the breath here. And hopefully we're still kind of moving at the same tempo of breathing that we started this class with. All right, last one. I'm going to have you lift the top leg, hip height again, and bring it forward. Now you're really going to need your kickstand, hon. return. Exhale, inhale. Or like I said, you can inhale too. Here I'm feeling a nice hamstring stretch, as well as my abdominals. Because what I'm doing is I'm not allowing my spine to bend, not allowing anything but a hip flexion of the top hip. And because my foot's flexed, I'm feeling kind of a nice calf stretch too. And I'm gonna have you just extend or add a little bit onto this. Again, your toes can be pointed if you want, but you're gonna swing your leg forward as much as you can. And once you can't get it any further, still about hip height, you're gonna bring it up and around. All right, here there is external rotation. I'm now facing my kneecaps. And once I get to about the plane of my body, you don't want to go behind because you're going to fall back. Oh, there, I almost demonstrated falling back. Once you get above your leg, you're going to drop it straight down. See, this is external rotation. Bring it back to neutral. I'm going to show it to you pointed this time. So I'm bringing it forward, hip heights. Once I can't go any further, I'm going to circle it up. Again, your leg will naturally externally rotate. It has to. There's no way your leg will go this high if you kept it in neutral. And then I drop my heel down to my other heel, and I come back to neutral. It's a little more obvious when my feet are flexed. That you can see external rotation versus internal. Let's try this 3 more times. Really take your time. Take extra breaths if you need to. Just keep alternating the breath. There's inhale to go forward, exhale to lift. Inhale to come down, exhale for a breath. Or you can do the opposite, which is exhale, come forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to reset. I said 3 more, right? Let's just do 1 more. By the way, if it weren't for this kickstand hand, I would have fallen on my face. So don't be afraid to use the kickstand hand, because even if you are pressing firmly into the hand, your abs are still working. All right. I'd like to do a side plank before we move to the other side. So a side plank, we're going to come onto our elbows. You have the option to bend the bottom knee. Stay lifted out of your shoulder and lift the hip. If you are doing straight leg, here's what it looks like, and that's staggered, and then this is stacked. Let's hold this for 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, flip over to the other side. You know you're in the right position if your hand's off the ground and you feel really unstable. All right, inhale and exhale. So in the training that I took, they do have, or I guess I should say it's Pilates. He does have inhale on the lift and exhale on the lower. Remember to keep pushing those hips down. And the reasoning behind that was that a lot of times when gravity is just pulling your leg down, people think about just relaxing. So here we're working, got it. But then it's like people just like let their leg flop down, right? So we really wanted people to bring awareness to the coming together of the legs, as if there's like a really strong repellent, like a magnet repelling the 2 legs, and it takes effort to bring the legs together. So if he has people exhaling, you bring more awareness to the contraction. Inhale to lift, and then exhale, as if 2 things are pushing the feet apart, and it takes work to actually bring the legs together. A lot of imagination, I know. So from here, we're going to do the leg circles. Inhale for a circle. Exhale. If in doubt, go slower, go smaller. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Last two. Exhale. Last full breath is what I meant. Okay, in reverse. So 3 full breaths, 6 circles. Inhale. Exhale. You can point your toes. Again, I'm just reaching out with my heel. Both legs strong and active. Last pair. Last one. Good. Hold that leg up there. Bring the bottom one up to me. It's moving only the bottom leg. This is the exercise where I accidentally had a break on the other side as I was talking. So your top leg is probably feeling a lot more fatigued on this side because we didn't take that break. All right, keeping both legs together. Lift and lower. So if you're still going with the same breathing as we started with, you're probably inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you lower. But if you find that you're doing the opposite, it is not a big deal. If you find yourself holding your breath, that is a big deal. Please don't hold your breath. All right, we're going to do our forward leg kicks, keeping the leg as straight as possible. If you feel a nice hamstring stretch. So the bottom leg can relax a little bit. You're going to need maybe you might need more your whole palm instead of just your fingers. Still run a very active leg. Staying at around hip height. Let's do one more, and then we're going to go into the full circle. And it's not a real circle. It's not. I don't want you to worry about the exact shape. I want you to bring your leg as far forward as you can, and then start to bring it as high as you can. And of course, because of the length of your leg, it's going to eventually end up right over your other foots. Okay, and we're not going to take our leg too far behind because it's just going to make us fall on our butt. We don't have a hand or a kickstand back here. So get external rotation, go back to neutral before, you want it at hip height. So you want to come back to neutral and hip height. If you want, you can come down and touch the heel briefly and then return to neutral and kick it forward. I think I kept touching my heel on the other leg, on the other side to showcase the external versus the neutral. And then I just forgot to stop at hip heights. But either way works. Let's do one more. Leg should be in neutral as you kick it forward. All right, side plank. If you did it with your bottom knee bent on the other side, please do the same version. And if you were stacked or staggered on the other side, do the same version. 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's try some reverse planks. So reverse plank, instead of facing down, we're facing up. You're going to have your fingertips pointed towards your butts. I'm going to show several variations of it progressing. So variation number 1 is kind of a reverse table. So your feet are hip distance apart, like so. You are going to feel a pretty big stretch in your shoulder area, like right around here. So if that feels like too much, don't feel obligated to lift your butt super high. But eventually the goal is plank, which is a neutral spine. So then, sorry, train of thought broken. So this is the up and down version of a plank, reverse plank modification. I'm going to show it to you with one leg straight. And you can sort of see how we're starting to move towards that full plank because there's a straight line from my front leg through the hip, through the shoulder, okay? And I'm going to tuck my chin down and stare down the length of my body. Because if you look at the ceiling, that actually strains your neck. And I know our head and neck is not aligned with our spine right now when we look down, but it's to protect the neck because it will feel strained if you actually try to put your head and neck in alignment. All right, that was 3, so let's do one more. All right, let's shake out our wrist for a moment. I know the wrist does get fatigued during reverse planks. It's one reason I don't teach reverse planks often because it's really hard to do it on your elbows because the range of motion is so limited. So let's just do a couple more. Let's do 4 and 3, looking down the length of your body. Exhale, lift 2. Inhale down, exhale, lift 1. Good. All right. One more quick shake out, quick stretch for a moment. And then we'll try 4, if you'd like, with the full legs straightened, or do 2 and 2 with 1 knee bent. Okay? Here we go. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift for 4. Inhale, lower. 3. Abs tight, chest lifted. 2. And last 1. Toes do not have to be pointed. Okay, on your backs. Shoulder bridge. Feet should be hip distance apart as we push those hips up. This is a great hip flexor stretch. We're going to go into leg circles. So just quickly showing you with my butt on the ground, we're going to circle, probably the size of a cantaloupe, nothing too big. 4 times, 2 in each direction. And then we'll put the butt back down. All right, here we go. Lift the hips, point or flex. Inhale, reverse, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Lower the butt, take a breath in, exhale, lift, reach the leg up, inhale, exhale, alternate direction as you alternate the breath, inhale, and exhale. Bend and lower. One more time on each side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Squeeze abs and glutes. Legs up. Inhale. Exhale. You should feel your hamstring stretch a little bit. If in doubt, make your circle smaller, slower. Good, going to teasers. We've done teasers before where the legs are up. You can shoot the legs out. So I'll demonstrate one version of that. And then today we'll try teasers with the feet starting on the ground. Inhale, arms reach to the ceiling, nod the chin. There's our inhale. Exhale to extend the legs out. Roll up using your abs. Inhale to hold. Abs are engaged during this hold. And exhale, slowly extend the legs out to control the lowering of your spine. And then you're back to the ground. Feel free to do that version again. That version is a little bit simpler because you have your legs in the air and you kick it forward. This version is a little harder because you're going to be lifting your legs off the mat, right, against gravity. Inhale, arms, head, shoulder blades must come up first, and then exhale. Option to exhale, lift the knees bent. Inhale, hold, exhale. We're going to extend the legs out just like the other version, but as we lower the torso, we also lower the legs. All right, we're going to do 4 more teasers, any variations you like. Inhale. So remember, I've been talking about the breath. Let's try to coordinate the movement with the breath and find smoothness. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for that stillness. Exhale 2 to 3 seconds. Control lowering. Inhale, the arms, head, neck, and shoulders come up again. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The exhale takes you all the way down, and then the inhale takes you right back up. The only pause really is this inhale, hold, the top, exhale. Let's do 1 more. So there really is no rest at the bottom because you're constantly lowering in the exhale. And then the moment it switches to inhale, you're starting to lift again. Inhale. All right. I'm having you take a stretch here. Take a knee in, bring it across the body. So if you ever have any low back pain, a really great stretch is this one because this particularly targets the obliques, but also this muscle on the back here called the quadratus lumborum. Call it the QL. Very much located near your lower back. And if we sit for a long time, it can get stiff. This time, we're not working the abs, so you can actually let your leg just fall all the way to the ground. You're still trying your best to keep your shoulder blades anchored, just so you get a better twist. But you don't have to work as hard to keep the shoulder blades anchored. And you can really let gravity just take a hold of your leg. Okay, we're going to rock and roll until we're all the way seated. So creating that rolling motion with your spine round, a little bit of a massage. And then just use your abs to crunch, more crunch, until the final crunch takes you all the way up for that forward stretch. Rounding the spine. Again, I'm getting into that low back. Well, thank you so much for joining. I like to change things up here, and so we're not doing sort of the exact same thing, since Pilates can obviously be the exact same exercises every week. So anyway, give me your feedback. I try to really focus on slowing things down today. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Indrani.